Well, week 3 discovery, we're back at it. I hope you had a great weekend and are enjoying the nice weather. I didn't really want to be doing this 3 weeks in a row, but it looks like we're going to be here for several more weeks. So we're going to keep pushing through. I want to thank you guys for all the work you've done and keeping on track with the calendar and the assignments each day. Thank you for your emails and letting me know kind of where you're stuck and trying to work through those problems with me. I know, again, that this is not ideal for anybody. This is not how we would like to do our math and our learning here, but we're going to make the best of it, and you guys have done a great job so far, so thank you for that. Keep it up. Keep pushing through with these videos. Keep pushing through with the assignments, and hopefully we can get back to normal here soon. I did want to kind of do something a little different today as we're starting something kind of new in geometry that you haven't seen before, at least I don't think you've seen. So the last 2 weeks, you guys have been doing area. And how do you find the area of different shapes and finding the formulas to use for triangles and trapezoids and shapes you've already done before like rectangles and squares. Well, we're going to take that idea and kind of go another step with it, because you've been doing shapes that are flat, that are kind of two-dimensional, that are like a piece of paper like this, and you take the base times the height, and you get a flat area. Well, now we're going to start to look at shapes that are not flat, but shapes that are three-dimensional, and we're going to call these prisms. And so this is an Amazon box. I'm sure you guys have been getting lots of Amazon boxes throughout all of this, and we got one today that I thought I would use as an example. And so we're going to look at this box and say, well, how do we find the area of a box like this? Well, if you look at a box, there's lots of sides that you could find the area. You could do the end like this, where there's a rectangle, and you would do base times height to find the area of this side. But what about this side? The other side is a lot longer. Now, it's still a rectangle, and you still do the base times the height. But you see with a big prism like this, something that's three-dimensional, a box, we don't have just one side to find the area. We actually have, in this case, we have 6 sides. We have a top and a bottom, we have the ends, and then we also have the sides. And so we call that, and we're going to find this week, the surface area of a shape like this. And the surface area is quite literally the entire surface that's on the outside. What's the area of this whole surface? Think about it like this. If you got this box and you wanted to wrap it for like a Christmas present, you would get wrapping paper and have to wrap the outer surface and cover the entire outside surface. And the surface area is how much wrapping paper you would need if you covered up every side perfectly. Now, of course, when you wrap presents, you use tape and you do some overlapping. But if you just for a second pretended I want to cover just the entire surface with wrapping paper, that would be the surface area. And so we're going to find the surface area of a bunch of shapes this week and into next week. And it's not that hard. It's actually not that different than the things you've been doing. But it's a little tricky to kind of visualize. And since I can't really do this in class with you guys, I'm going to try to do my best with this video and try to send you some more videos this week. But here's the best way to find the surface area of any shape. When you've got a box like this, and you could do this with all kinds of different things. So say you have a Cheerios box or a cereal box. You can do this at home if you want. But think about it as a cardboard box that we want to find the surface area of. But I don't want to keep it all 3D like this. I don't want it to have this, the height and the width and the depth. I want to make it all flat. I want to make it two-dimensional, like on a piece of paper. And so you guys know with cardboard boxes like this, that you can break them down into their pieces and make them flat. And so I'm going to do that with this Amazon box. You often do this when you're recycling things. You cut the other side so that you can kind of flatten it out. And if you've ever done this with a cardboard box, you know that boxes actually are kind of glued in some places. They have these little tabs. And you can take it and flatten it out into one big flat box like this. Now, we got to look at this a little careful because there are some parts of this box that were overlapping before. And so to find the surface area, we don't want all the overlap. We just want what is the outside surface. So I'm going to do some quick cutting here and hopefully be able to show you what I mean, how I'm going to flatten this shape. So again, this is just an Amazon box. If you want to do this at home, you can, to kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about. but all I'm doing is I'm cutting off the areas that were overlapped before, because we don't want overlap. And so we end up with something that kind of looks like this. Now this looks kind of weird, but if this is actually the entire box I had before, I'm going to really quickly fold it back like it was. There's the sides. Now the bottom's open, the top's open. Let me really quickly fold that. Obviously it's not going to stay because it's not tape, but there's the box that we had before. It's three-dimensional. Now I'm going to flatten it back out like this. And if you can pretend like these are all flat, now we've got a bunch of rectangles. To find the surface area, all you need to do is flatten your shape out like this. And then you just have a bunch of little sections where you find the area and then add them together. So let me go back to the original shape. Here's the big box. I told you we want to use wrapping paper to wrap this. We want to find the surface area, but it's kind of difficult to do because it's got all these different sides and edges. So let's make it flat, and it's the same shape, it's the same surface area, it's the same cardboard, but now it's flat like a piece of paper. And we could go and look at like this middle one here, where I'm pointing to. Well, let's find the area of that. We could measure the base times the height. Write that in the middle here. So now we have the area of this little rectangle. Go over to this one. Find the area. This is actually kind of like a square if you look at it like this. You've got the base, you've got the height. Find the area of that. And when you find all the pieces, then you just add them up. And I haven't done this with this shape. You can do this at home if you want to practice some of these, but you'll see this on your assignment today. But when you add up the area of all those little shapes, you get the surface area of this big box like this. And we're going to do that with a lot of our shapes this week. When you flatten it out like that, what you're actually making is called a net, an N-E-T, net. You're going to see a lot of examples with that today. And that's really the main thing I want you to see is how do you get a net from a shape. So like this box right here, what would this net look like if we unfolded it? And there are going to be some other shapes too that we're going to practice with. And then tomorrow and Wednesday and Thursday, we'll start to actually find the surface area of these shapes. Now I realize this is not the best way of explaining it because I'm not with you in person. Hopefully that box is kind of helpful. If you've got a box at home you can do this with just to kind of see what it looks like visually. Because once you get what I mean by finding the net, then I think you're going to find the surface area pretty easy to find. Use the same formulas that you did last week and the week before. So take this video as kind of an introduction. Go on to the next video and look at those practice problems of today. If you're feeling good, I want you to go ahead and look at tomorrow's assignment. I'm going to give you permission to kind of go ahead this week. If you're not quite sure, just keep looking at these videos and look up how to find the nets. And then we'll move into some more of this tomorrow, and maybe it'll make more sense. So we're going to take it slow. We're going to keep going at the kind of slow pace that we've been doing. But this is kind of a trickier thing, and I want to make sure we understand what this is as we move forward and figure out how to find the surface area of these three-dimensional shapes. So if you have any questions about this, keep pushing with those videos, keep doing those practice problems. If by Tuesday or Wednesday this really doesn't make sense, reach out to me, send me an email, let me know. But by the end of the week, we'll be able to take shapes like this and hopefully pretty quickly be able to find the surface area, and then we'll be moving on into next week. So again, it's good to see you guys. Hope everything's going well at home. I hope you guys are finding some nice routines with your family and everything is kind of settling in. Week 3, again, I didn't think we would be here, but here we are, and it looks like we're going to be here for some time. So I hope you're doing well. I hope these all make sense, and I'm not giving you too much to work on, and it seems like you're keeping up, but I'm not pushing you too hard. I don't want to do that. I just don't want you to fall behind, and that's, I think, the goal for all of our classes right now. So let me know how we're doing. Let me know how you're doing, and we'll keep pushing forward. So thanks for watching, and if you have more questions, I'll send more videos this week that hopefully will clear it up for you guys. So we'll see you next time.